Hello and welcome to The One Show with Gabby, Logan
and Matt Baker. And tonight we're joined by a boxing legend who 25 years ago won the WBA World Featherweight title to become a national hero.
It's the Cloners Cyclone, Barry McGuigan! Now then, Barry, after 21 years from retirement, you've decided to kind of re-enter the boxing game, but in a very different capacity.
Yeah, I've moved into promoting. I've been asked for years and years, you know, managing. Come on, lots of young kids have said, "Will you manage me? Will you promote me?" And I've always resisted because as you know, I've commentated for 20 odd years and full time. So, and I always felt I was compromising myself, whereas now I'm in a position to promote, and I've got a very, very talented young fellow over in Belfast and a couple over here as well who are very special. I'm involved in sort of college academies as well to give young kids a chance to stay in school and to be educated and to actually box as well. So I've got a few fingers in a few different pies, but it's all around boxing.
Is this more the business side of things that you have to look at?
Well, more the business side, but it's a unique position for me because, you know, I've never promoted before, and I've always seen things through the eyes of the boxer. I always see it from the boxer's perspective, so it's given me a different slant. I'm trying to understand the economics of it. Poacher turned gamekeeper, or the other way around. But, you know, I'm very excited about it. Great interest, and we're having a press conference tomorrow to announce his opponent, and it's very exciting.
And on the grander scale as well, I mean, you've had some interesting boxers that you've trained. Thinking about Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yes.
What was going on there?
I helped train him for the movie The Boxer. He was incredibly talented.
Was he? He was good.
Oh my God, 2.5 years of hard work, and
you know what it takes. Your list of achievements is incredible. From Sports Personality of the Year, Commonwealth titles, World, European titles. What do you think now that you've got 25 years to look back and think, you know, that was my first big title? What made you so special?
I just think hard graft, you know. I mean, I remember reading this book, Talent is Overrated, and it was basically saying that it's not talent, it's about natural ability and then hard graft. And I think I tend to agree with that. It's about hard graft, and I worked very hard, and people were very good to me, and I was very lucky. And I was able to achieve what I achieved, and, you know, hoping to be able to help these other kids do it, both in school and college and in the professional side of things as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting night for you, I imagine, that first bill. Thank you very much, Barry.
David, we're just talking there that your family have an incredible history of around that time.
Yeah, well, my granddad was interned on the Isle of Man. My granddad, that's my grandparents, they were refugees from Nazism and arrived here just before the war broke out. And then it's not that well known, in 1940, all Germans in Britain were interned sort of mainly on the Isle of Man. And it was mainly Jewish refugees, and they set up universities and concerts and stuff like that. And I wrote a novel about it, actually. And I did a Who Do You Think You Are about it. It is very interesting.
Interesting to learn about your life at that time. And did it make you feel like you were more in touch with your Judaism, your Jewish?
Just made me more in touch with my family, really, which I think as you grow older is something you get more into. You start to feel that you're part of this whole thing.
Yeah. And the infidel, which is obviously the meeting of a Jew and a Muslim, and how they kind of, well, I won't give away the plot.
No, it's all right. It's about a Muslim who discovers he was born a Jew.
Yeah.
That's what I think you're heading towards.
That's what I'm heading towards, yeah.
An incredible cast. I mean, it's
brilliant. It's got Omid Jalili in it, who is that guy.
Yeah.
It's got Richard...
Did you write it for him?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, when I saw Omid, I thought he's the man to do it. And he is a brilliant, I think, a brilliant comic actor. Omid Jalili, been in 20 movies, including Sex and the City 2, would you believe? Yeah, he's the one married to Matthew Broderick, I think. And Miranda Hart is in it, and Matt Lucas, and Richard Schiff, who is from The West Wing, who is a brilliant, brilliant actor, who we're really lucky to get. So I was incredibly pleased with the cast.
And there was a concern, wasn't there, that it was going to be a very offensive film, and actually it's not really at all, is it?
No.
Around the world, how has it been received?
Really great. I mean, it has sold around the world, which is good because people were really worried about it, and it wouldn't have sold. And, you know, I would basically be in hiding and not on this programme now if it was that offensive. And I never set out to be that. I just thought it was a funny idea for a movie, and I wrote it really partly to be kind of inclusive, to say, well, there's no reason why we can't have comedy about this subject, and there's no reason why Muslims and Jews or whoever can't have their own anti-heroes, because it's a bit like the main character's a bit like a kind of Muslim Homer Simpson, and people thought, oh, well, you know, won't people get upset about that? But in fact, no. In fact, most communities they want their own anti-heroes, I think.
But Omid wears a Spurs shirt, doesn't he, for quite a
He does, yeah, well spotted.
And tomorrow night, England.
All right, yes.
See that?
Fabulous, I see what you're doing there.
I'm playing Hungary.
You're going to play Hungary, yes, and there'll probably be some Spurs players.
No, but you're a well-known football fan, a famous football fan. Spent a long time out in South Africa at the World Cup. Are you all England out, or will you be there?
Yes, I won't be there. I can't face it. I think I had enough punishment in South Africa, and, you know, if they beat Hungary, which they should do, I hope it doesn't start again with this sense of, like, we're going to win, and, oh, no, we're not.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, the time has probably passed now where we should, you know...
Stephen Gerrard said today expects to get booed. He would boo himself.
No, he said he would
boo
himself. Yeah, I think he could do that, though, couldn't he? He says, like, you know, he might as well boo himself. There's no law against self-booing, I don't think, and I'd like to see him do it during the national anthem.
Do you think slow clapping would be better?
Slow clapping, yeah. Or he could go roo, boo, and stuff like that. It's no problem with booing himself. Boo,
It will be certainly very interesting to see what we're saying. Hello and welcome to The One Show with Gabby, Logan.
And Matt Baker, and an actress who's had a string of memorable roles.
In Little Britain, she was the only barmaid in the village, serving the only gay in the village.
And in Gavin and Stacey, she was Nessa, the Barry Island battle axe with a heart.
Not bad for a girl who started out in panto playing a teenage mutant ninja turtle. It's Ruth Jones! How lovely to see you.
You're welcome.
Very blessed.
But anyway, you're at the moment you're starring in this BBC4 sitcom,
Yes.
The Great Outdoors. You play
Yes.
Christine in this Rambler. I mean, it is absolutely fantastic watch. It really is. You must have had great fun.
It was great, yeah, The Great Outdoors, and it's on BBC4.
Yeah.
And I had a wonderful time doing it. We had a great cast. Mark Heap, you know, from Lark Rise to Candleford, and loads of brilliant comedy, and Steve Edge, and Catherine Parkinson, and just a fabulous cast, and we were very blessed with the weather. It's basically about a rambling club, so as you can imagine, we had to film outdoors on lots of rambles. The writing is brilliant on it. Andy Riley and Kevin Cecil are both keen walkers themselves, so their attention to detail was brilliant, and they put that all into the script. And I think it's very affectionate. You know, no, we're not making fun of anybody. And what it is as well is a sort of a reflection or a kind of little microcosm of any big organisation or corporation workplace where you have conflicts, you have different personalities coming in. My character is a new member of the group. Bob, played by Mark Heap, has been running this walking group for several years, and then Christine, my character, turns up as the newcomer and has her eye on the leadership of the group. So it's all that kind of thing. You know, you could reflect in politics or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a very brilliantly written piece, and I think, you know, it's a fantastic advert for the British countryside. And obviously because we had good weather, so it showed it in a great light. But we just went to the most amazing places, filmed a lot in Buckinghamshire and also down in Lyme Regis on the south coast. Beautiful place.
Now you're also, I'm going to talk about your next project we're going to see. I'm not sure when it's going to be on just yet. I'm not sure if you are, but Hattie Jake's biopic that's going to be on.
Well, that'll be on
BBC4.
later in the year, yes.
Yeah. What an amazing comedy actress she was.
She was. What's amazing about her, though, is that when you mention her to people who are under the age of 40, they don't know who she is. And then you have to go, you know, Carry On Films, matron. So I'll come back and talk to you about that when it's coming out, because I'm not sure exactly when it is. It should be before the end of the year, and it's set around a time, 1963, when Carry On Gabby was being filmed.
About her unusual love life.
It is about her unusual love life, yes. But don't expect any sauce. There'll be no revelations. But I cannot recommend highly enough The Great Outdoors. And I think if you never watch BBC4, because I know it is one of those quiet little channels, it's a real gem.
How many nights are you doing on this?
I'm doing 16, I think, this time.
But you hate Edinburgh, according to your quotes.
No, I don't.
You find it very... well, it's an experience of Edinburgh has been expensive for you.
It's been expensive. I've never
You said you
hated
don't recommend it to young comedians.
Well, no, the only reason I don't recommend it to young comedians is we're full. We don't need any more young comedians. There are only a limited number of jobs.
So you
I
love
think
it,
no one else
really?
should go into comedy. Yeah, it's great. There's nothing better than the Edinburgh Festival. It is fantastically expensive. As a comic, if you're going up there, you can look at a budget and go, well, if I sell all of the tickets, I will owe £8,000 at the end of this. It's a really expensive do. So it's
an investment in your career, though.
Yeah,
It
it's
helped
like
to
a
make
trade.
you, obviously, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's been hugely important to me. I mean, this is my 8th one-man show or something. So you know, you've got to keep going back. This time, I'm in the position where actually I might make some money. So that's essentially why I'm going back, is because I feel it owes me a lot of money.
If you really want something spectacular, what you could make with that thing, that's called a ponderosa, and it's a cross between a lemon and a citron.
A lemon in a car.
Absolutely.
Look at a lemon and a citron.
Yeah.
We've got some chilies here as well, of course.
Chilies, of
Yeah.
course. And the hotter the weather, the hotter the chili. So
Yes.
hot, dry conditions, lots of
So
sunshine.
you can't get really hot chilies.
Oh, you can, and that's probably been grown in this country. You have a chop.
I was going to say, Chris,
you have
do you
a
want
chop.
to...
I can't make it. I've
Set
tried.
yourself on
kumquat
fire.
down
Go
with
on,
the chili.
tried.
go on, get
I've
it in your
tried.
mouth. Stop avoiding the issue. Go on.
God, I can't believe you just did that.
No, it's not.
He's going to run in a second.
It's not a question. Tell me how you grow these.
Hey, when was you doing the Edinburgh Festival? Not this
About
week,
2
hopefully.
years.
Yes.
Was this something that you specifically wanted to do, the Amazon, or were you looking for something that hadn't been done before?
Well, I'd never been to the Amazon before. All my jungle experience had come from Central America or Borneo. And yeah, definitely the fact that nobody had ever walked the length of the Amazon, I just did a Google search basically and nothing came up. And not surprisingly, no one had ever walked it. And I thought if no one's ever walked it and this could be a world first, then it's likely to get quite a lot of attention. And what the aim of the expedition is to create an adventure so that lots of people around the world could get interested in the Amazon and therefore care about deforestation and care about the rainforest in general. And that seems to have worked. The public seems to have come on board and everyone seems to be very, very positive about the whole thing, which makes it seem like a success. Really.
All those hardships are worth it.
I mean, it's not just the length of it, it's the wildlife, like we saw there in that piece, you know, that you're in and amongst. I mean, I've been there, and it is a pretty daunting place for that.
He was there for 2 days.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you know, and you even ended up with was it a fly in your head?
I did have a butterfly in my head, but it is quite common that. I mean, it's not dangerous. It can... yeah, there it's on camera. Yeah, it can burrow into your head and it can keep you awake at night. It sort of eats away at your flesh, so you have to kill it by suffocating it. We used super glue to suffocate it, and then Cho, my expedition partner, squeezed it out.
But wait for this, Michael. After all that, fly in his head, something terrible happened, didn't it, when you got home? Your bags didn't get home.
Yeah, the Airways lost my bags. After carrying them for 2.5 years, all the way through the Amazon, put them on their flight, and then they get lost in 12 hours. So that was slightly annoying. I've actually just been told that they've been found, so they're in safe.
Oh,